Hello, beer tubers, and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. And today, doing another barley wine for Barley Wember. And as you see, I might look a bit tired, but these days I look extra tired in the videos because, as you might see from, you can't see outside, it's really light because I get to shoot the videos usually quite late, especially lately because the girls are in this developmental step. They're called T-spank tiger jumps in Danish. I don't know what you call them in English, but it's like they happen where they have a big thing they're learning. And this is one of the biggest, the fourth step, where they're learning to roll around and roll over and stuff like that. And it takes weeks until they learn it. And during that time, they're just extra fussy. Plus, they also just got their uh, 5th month vaccination. So, extra fuzzy kids tonight. So I might look extra tired. But I had some beers I wanted to crack. It's Friday. I'm actually on my own. They're sleeping. We need a beer. And hopefully some good stuff. So let's check. Well, I got one good one planned. I'm drinking no matter what after this. I want to review it, of course. But this is from Blackout Brewing from Romania. They sent me their beers a while back. Thanks a ton to Blackout for the beers. I'm so sorry for not getting around to them. I've actually had a couple of them without reviewing them just because I have so much beer to review. And they were nice. One was a pastry stout. I think both were actually. But this one sounds awesome. It's fitting for Barley Wember because it's a double barrel aged barley wine called Exclusion Zone. And it looks like a factory there on the label or something. But when I read the label, what I think is post apocalyptic tendencies. I'm thinking zombies and stuff, but I think it just looks like a warehouse and there's some people just talking in the background. I wonder if that's where the brewery is located or something. But this for sure is inspired by Anchorage, A Deal with the Devil, just judging by the description here. Okay, wait, it's just I actually didn't read the description, but they're talking about a no man's land and darkness and something. So life after rapture, it's for sure something about the end times and apocalyptic things, post-apocalyptic things. But yeah, so this is inspired for sure by Anchorage to Deal with the Devil. It's just I'm guessing a whole lot cheaper because that beer is really expensive. It's, like you can get triple oaked again now for Black Friday. I think they had it for sale in Blackbeer, and they put it in like half price. It was like over 1,000 Danish crowns, and it was it 600 or something? Or it's like I should actually pick up a bottle of that, but I have too much beer, so I'm not going to. Even though like I'd love to drink that beer again, it's just like I've had it a few times now. I really want to try the new quadruple oak variants and whatnot. They just sound amazing. But yeah, this is for sure inspired by that. So this is aged in gold reserve barrels. I gold reserve. That is from Willet, isn't it? I think so. And for 5 months, and then it's moved to wild turkey barrels for 10 months. 13% ABV. Looking forward to this one. I mean, if it's inspired by that, and this is when just the description saying and then move to wild, like just the way and the additional 10 months and whatever. Like just the description there is almost exactly like if you read a bottle of A Deal with the Devil or some of the variants. But let's check it out. It looks nice and rich. Look at that. Really dark in the glass. This must be boiled for a long time, or maybe there's a touch of chocolate malt or something in there. Just look, it looks nice, and just look when I swirl it. That's just really, really nice looking in the glass. It's got some curtains too on the side, and yeah, it's like the darkest, the brown, the color, beige head. Let's check out the aroma, and thanks to Blackout for the beer. Yeah, it smells really nice, but it's definitely not as like bombastic and intense as A Deal with the Devil. It smells like a lighter version, but a good one, a really good one too. Um, Bourbon really, really on the forefront. Loads of like fudgy bourbon, but also like a lot of wood and a lot of like umami too. The like dried dates and figs. There's a hint of chocolate in there too. It's actually not too far off the long boiled barley wine I recently did a review of from OO Brewing. Just it's a bit more layered and rich smelling. Toffee, butterscotch toffee. It's kind of like stewed red apple, a bit of tobacco. It smells really good. I wonder if this is. It doesn't say if it's double mashed. It just says double barreled. A bit of warmth too, alcohol warmth, like a candied kind of sugar note. You really get that warming sensation, like it's warming in the nostrils, and you get like vanilla. It smells really good. It's in the, you can totally see what this is inspired by. It's just lacking the crazy intensity and richness, but this smells like a really nice barley wine. Let's give it a taste. Cheers, and thanks to Blackout for the beer. Very much in the vein of OO's long boiled barley wine. Lots of barrel, lots of heat going down, like really warm. Woo! Loads of heat. I'm still feeling it. I actually didn't expect that from the aroma. Let's go and put another sip. So I think here, I talked about in a previous review how like these beer needs time in barrels. And I think this is an example of this beer needed less time in barrels. Like everything is dependent on what goes into the barrel. Like it's really nice, but it lacks richness. The barrel aging and the double oaking has really diluted the beer a lot. So there's a lot of spirit in here and you can feel it when you drink it. But the base beer, it's not hefty and bombastic enough to like stand up against two whiskey barrels. Because there's so much whiskey flavor, so much bourbon, but the base beer is just like it can't really handle the pressure. Whereas just a single barrel maybe would be okay for this. Like it's just like these beers are like they're so hard to do. It's not like easy, and also like with them when you hear some of the gravities that they start on these crazy big Anchorage beers, for example, they're massive. The original gravities, so massive that they are so inefficient to brew. They take hours on end to boil. Like it's usually like a 2-day process. It's really expensive to make. It's really laborsome and it's really hard to do, and it takes a lot of time. And it's not something that you reap the rewards from until quite a lot of time further down the line. So I can see why a lot of brewers are maybe not in Europe doing the exact same thing. It's also about, I guess, learning how to do it on your system. A lot of it is learning about your system. Like if you're an educated brewer and you're dropped in a brewery, the first batches of beer you're gonna make on your own are gonna be like, all right, if you're a trained brewer. But then when you get into the system and you get to work it and you know how it works, then you can start making a really great beer. And you know your process and you know your equipment and then you can start dialing in. I don't feel like this is really dialed in yet, but this has so much promise. I mean, the barrel character is fantastic. It's just the base beer that's lacking a little bit to me. This really shows promise. I'm really excited to try the other beers I have from Blackout after this, though. Let's jump through some flavors. Lots of bourbon, lots of spirit. There's caramel, there's char, wood, a little bit of chocolate, the fudge, red apple skins, maybe a little slight tannic grape quality, some kind of caramelized figgy note. There's a little bit of a burnt caramel, burnt toffee. If you make for Christmas in Denmark, you make brune kartofler. There's like potatoes, tiny potatoes that are covered in a caramel sauce. You make the caramel sauce by putting sugar in a pan, having the sugar melt, and then you add butter to the sugar, and then you stir it around, you add your potatoes, and you mix it. I think, do you also add a bit splash of water? Maybe, I can't remember. I make it like once a year. And you can also add a bit of cream and salt to make it kind of like dulce, like the more fancy version, whatever. But sometimes for Christmas, if you're in a rush and you leave the sugar for a long time, and it's been there for too long, and you're trying to coat the potato, and then the caramel burns a bit, there's a touch of that because of the char of the barrel, I think. What a long description to get into a barrel note. There's a bit of cola bean. I'm getting that a lot with barley wines right now. Sorry for the odd edit there, guys, but the sound cut off because my microphone ran out of battery. But to finish up, Exclusion Zone, great barley wine, great, possibly one of the first attempts from the brewery. Yeah, in terms of a grade for Exclusion Zone, I said 91, possibly a 92. It was really nice. lots of flavors, lots of layers, loads of barrel character. But the barrel character was a bit much compared to the base beer. So that was my main thoughts. But yeah, if you guys had a chance to try Exclusion Zone from Blackout Brewing, let me know what you thought of it. Big old barley wine in cold reserve barrels and wild turkey barrels. As always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers in an empty bottle of barley wine. And see you guys in another beer review.